see. Okay, now it's being live streamed.
Yes. So got it, and then close.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Hopefully I will not get the feedback.
You don't have it, do you?
I don't.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Teresa.
you're welcome. Have a good evening.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Okie dokie. Okay, so we start the meeting. Thank you, Laura, for your patience. We start the meeting at 7:12.
Yes, I was trying to tell you that I couldn't hear you, but then I realized I had my audio down on 0.
Oh, okay. So that
Right.
explains.
Because
So
last
now-
night I suddenly was asked to turn on the meeting for public safety, but I didn't want to be there, so I just turned everything to low.
Okay, so now we're good, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so 7:12. Good evening. This is the UNNC Outreach Committee meeting. And let me share the agenda. Which, let's see. And again, I will need to make some modifications to it. Okay, so that's okay. So for tonight's agenda, which I will share right now. Is this the one? Yes. Okay. So what I would like to table are the two last, the minutes for July the 5th and August the 9th. Other than that, we'll just proceed.
Yeah, and I apologize. I missed this little typo.
That's fine. Which typo?
Well, the year 20,222.
Oh, okay. Yes, I didn't even notice. All right.
Neither did I, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. So these are the items. Tom Juan is asking to be admitted. Hello, Tom.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Do you would you prefer to be off with a video off?
Oh, I can turn video on if you'd like. I prefer
I
video
just
on.
don't. Okay, that is fine. All right. So Laura, would you like to move to approve the agenda?
Sure. Did you want to draw well, we all know, drawing our attention first to the fact that we're meeting virtually since meeting in person would present imminent risk to the health or safety of attendees. And the meeting is being conducted virtually pursuant to a directive from the Board of Neighborhood Commissioners and the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. And then, yes, would like to move to approve the agenda as amended to not include the minutes from prior meetings.
Yes. So we will, so you just read item number 1. Number 2 would be welcome and call to order the approval of the agenda, which we are doing right now. Item 3, public comments, 1 to 2 minutes per speaker on non-agenda items only. Number 4, the initial conversation on the outreach committee goals for this fiscal year. Item 5, organizing details on our attendance at the Taste of Soul event this upcoming October the 15th. Item 6, document design and printing. We have some outreach flyers, and also we need to decide on which additional documents we would like to print for distribution from different agencies that we usually get flyers from. Item 7, just share any updates on the UNNC elections, if there are any. Item 8, follow up to previous agenda items. And number 9, approval of the minutes, which I said I would need to table the ones for July 5th and August the 9th, and then adjournment. So Laura,
So hence my motion to approve the agenda as presented with the exception of not number 9, the approval of minutes from previous meetings.
yes. And so I second, and so I guess we'll just approve it, right? Okay. So we'll move on then to item 3, public comments. Anyone would like to share a public comment at this time? Okay, having none, we'll move on to the committee goals for the year, for the fiscal year, for this fiscal year. So I don't have a draft at this time, but some of the things that we definitely need to set as goals are to replenish our inventory on the promotional items, which we just ordered a first round of promotional items, and then the informational flyers, which we are also pretty much out of. So I know that we are talking about that for item 6. So I will leave it just as that. So in terms of committee goals, because outreach is or the elections cycle is that every year, but as needed. So in our case, every 2 years, correct? So doing the outreach this year, doing outreach for the UNNC elections is one of our goals. All right. Laura, do you have any
Well,
suggestions?
I actually just have a question. You said that, I mean, I know we're ordering promotional items, but you said it that you did order them. But how were they paid for? Or is the ordering ongoing?
It isn't ongoing. I just placed the order, but the order hasn't arrived yet. And I think we will be getting an invoice. It's from a local vendor.
Okay, cool.
It's something that we arranged with Grace Yu.
She has her credit card?
I don't know. I
She
don't
does
know.
not.
No, she
Well,
She
we'll talk
referred me-
offline, but we're
me to
having
the-
issues. We want to make sure it's using the UNNC credit card, for sure.
Oh, I'm sure she knows that.
Okay, I'm sure she knows it too.
She is not handling the payment. She's handling the order right now.
Got it. Okay,
She's the person who referred me to this vendor.
perfect, perfect,
Okay.
perfect.
So promo items, flyers, and then elections. Anything that falls within our committee goals.
Well,
That we have an increasing number now of in-person events.
right.
That is.
Well, here's my
pretty-
question, Lizzie. Have you and the communications committee started any conversation at all about resolving who is responsible for what piece of Facebook and perhaps even, I mean, in other words, our social media outreach. I'm calling it outreach. And I'm asking because at the environmental committee, we have now for 4 months in a row had an agenda item that relates to promoting not so much the committee, but its sustainability goals. And Gabby came to 2 of the meetings, but we don't seem to have any real commitment that they're going to do anything for us. But conversely, there's things we have to do. I mean, in other words, the idea at the environmental committee is not to have a hammer, but instead to have encouragement. So, for example, one of the members of the committee has been on a weekly basis bringing their foodstuffs, food waste, to the Wellington Square Farmers Market to deliver the food waste to the entity that's collecting them for composting. And she's supposed to be doing at one week or another selfies. And what we wanted to do is use that as, hey, we're doing it, you can do it too, kind of encouragement for environmental things. And even came up with an idea, sustainability Sundays. So, post the environmental committees, these posts on Sundays. But who does that? Would that be that committee or this committee to help with the posting? Because no one at environmental is asking for the admin, although that would also, just the ability to self-post would be fine too. But which committee is going to take Facebook?
Okay. The communications committee is handling the Instagram account. I have no say on the Instagram account. And I know that they have over the years, they have been working on different campaigns. So something about, and related to a specific day of the week. So
Right.
this is in their area that they have been handling. So I would recommend that, yes, that
We continue the conversation with them.
Yes.
And we're trying, but yeah.
I can continue posting on Facebook and Nextdoor. Those are my 2. And that additionally, just as a community member, I do the other 4 Facebook pages.
Right. Well, I don't think anybody, I don't think Elizabeth or Charlie or Christy or anybody was thinking that you would take on the task of doing their posts. In fact, I think they thought Gabby was, because Gabby came to some of the meetings. But and I just don't know how viable it would be to give a particular member of the environmental committee the same privilege that you have to do these posts at Facebook anyway, and certainly not Nextdoor. So again, I know that you can post, but I don't think they're asking you to post for them, right? So you think it's communications and not outreach,
right? I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially on the Instagram, which is where they have been more creative in terms of the content of the posts, as opposed to me just announcing or sharing.
Yeah, and I think our thing is falling more in that creative thing.
Yes. So
yeah, a campaign, if you will.
So
okay.
The communication should be more clear.
Fine.
Be made more clear to them that we would like them to handle that.
Okay. All right.
If they are willing to. Yes.
Okay.
So one thing that I forgot here, but I think we can proceed before we continue with this, is ask Tom to please introduce yourself and welcome. So we're glad. Usually it's very few people who attend our outreach meetings. So would you like to say a few words about yourself and why?
Oh, sure. Hi, my name is Tom Huang. I just wanted to sit in on the meeting because we're planning on, I'm proposing a project that's happening.
Wait, stop. I will need to leave. I'll come back when you're done. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
There might be a conflict of,
Oh, conflict of interest? Oh, I'm sorry about that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I just wanted
it's
to
my
be a fly on the wall, really.
Okay. Are you a resident of
I'm
the?
not a resident. I'm not a resident of the neighborhood council, but we'd like to do something within your neighborhood council.
Okay.
And I'll leave it at that. But I was really interested in what's
But
going
you're
on.
more than welcome to just be here and just listening in. Like
Yeah, be a fly on the wall. Yeah,
Okay.
I saw you present the Taste of Soul event at the governor's board meeting.
Okay.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
And
That's good.
wanted to get a sense of what the community was like, and
Sure,
the leaders of the community, what they're what they're experiencing. So
Of course.
that's why I'm here. So I hope that's okay.
Yes, of course, of course. This is a public meeting, and we're happy to have you. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom. Okay, so we will just proceed. Laura, I'm not sure.
Let's shut up.
Oh, I might call her.
Yeah, sorry to make that so complicated.
I'm just walking back in. I'm sorry, I have a conflict of interest.
Okay, I was totally unaware, so that's fine.
No, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, Tom, to do that. I have a conflict of interest, and I didn't want to hear what you had to say because I realized I'm on the panel of selectors.
Okay, all right. So,
sorry about that.
Do we have any ideas for committee goals for this year? And this is just bullet items. We're not going to be discussing anything. I need to think about it and present a draft. That's what I would like to do next.
Well, I mean, did you want to do? We're not creating, the outreach committee is not going to be creating any events, right? We're just going to be participating.
Right. I don't think
the outreach committee. I know the elections committee may well create an event.
Right.
But for outreach committee goals, we're just trying to support an increasing number of in-person events.
Yes.
Or participate in an increasing number of in-person events as the pandemic subsides, if as.
And then one item that I would like to add as a committee goal, which I have been expressing for the past few months, is this idea of asking each working committee to create a display board for display at the in-person events. So this fits pretty perfectly, I believe, as a committee goal. So we will take on that.
And Lizzie, I'm realizing partway through this meeting, I hit this thing, request live transcript. You should have just gotten a message. If you could enable it, it creates minutes for us.
Sure. All right. So if we have nothing else, and we will continue, I will have this as a continuing agenda item for maybe the next 2 months or so. So let's move on. If nobody else has anything else to say, let's move on to item 5, which is our attendance at Taste of Soul, which is coming back as an in-person event. We will be attending, sharing one of the City 10, I believe, tables. It will be on Saturday, October 15th. So once again, we will be creating a list of volunteers of shifts. And this one starts very early. So
Right.
we'll be doing that and probably stops when we run out of materials. So we will be very careful about uh, uh, how to distribute them, because this is a massive event. People come from all areas of even the country, not only from LA. So obviously we will be getting a lot of non-stakeholders coming to our table. So we need to let them know that even the swab, we need to be very, very
Right.
cautious about. So we will make it so that they need to sort of work at it. Ideally that they are a stakeholder, but if not, so I was thinking maybe we could have something like, letter size, cut it in half, and print something, some sort of trivia game or getting to know the UNNC, and we could have like a multiple choice, maybe 5 facts about the UNNC that they could maybe come up with or choose from, so ask them for example, how long has the UNNC been, in existence? And we would write 3 options and they could, just an idea.
Right. Well,
They get to know us and they work for what they're gonna get.
well, I'm not disagreeing with that at all, but I am going to remind you, we still have something like 400 orange paper bags and we paid for labels. And I think for a large event like this, we need to have, I haven't even printed the final, I only printed 100 labels. I've paid for, but haven't printed the rest. So we really need to prep those bags and have the paper stuff that's not swag good to go, so we can be handing out the bags. And I know that means bring the bags in and it's a pain in the, but I feel like it's not necessarily the perfect event to give away our precious swag.
Right. I wasn't even thinking about having, we could give them a bag, but it could just be the flat version of the bag.
Correct. Yeah, with a little bit of paper in it already.
And
yeah,
it's cumbersome for them. They just want things to stuff their big bags with,
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm just saying the bags are inexpensive and the labels are inexpensive. Not easy, but inexpensive. Whereas these giveaway items, it's proving to be expensive. We need them. We need to do promotional items. But as you already pointed out, this isn't a perfect event for that either. There is no perfect event, I'm going to guess.
Right. So I think we will have a very limited amount. We will have to be very thrifty about how many. So let's say 50 pens.
Well, I wouldn't know the right numbers for this event. This is what I do know. I'm going to have to get the rest of the labels printed, and we need to have a little pre-party, as it were, to stick the labels onto the bags.
Okay.
I'm not going to say how many bags you need to take with you, but we need to finish sort of the prep on that project. Because, then another month from now is the emergency preparedness fair at USC, which is not on your agenda, but we'll be there too.
Yes.
So, and that's a big deal. And again, not the perfect thing for UNNC, but we will have a table there, I believe.
Right. But we'll need to come up with the amount.
I understand.
Okay. So
right, and I apologize in advance, but that's the same day as the composting workshop that we're sponsoring. So Charlie and I are probably going to be there. I might help you. I might be able to help you at the 8 a.m. side, but I need to help Charlie at the 11 a.m. side.
Okay. All right. I don't think we are here for the full day because we shared tables and yeah. All right. Also on the distribution of flyers and promotional items. Okay, so we agreed that we are gonna be talking about this off, you know, off camera outside of the meeting. So the outreach flyers, we never really had a proper conversation with the communications committee because of my absence. So I guess we can postpone this for when we meet with them.
Correct. And they did not do an agenda, so we have to do a cancellation for them this week. They're not having a meeting this month.
Oh, they're not having a meeting. Okay, so
Well, they may not realize they're not having a meeting because Greg and I both sent them multiple emails reminding them it's a weird calendar. So the third Thursday is this week.
And also, the chair is very busy, particularly busy this month. So that might be a problem. I mean,
right.
That may be a reason why. Okay, no problem. So I will postpone it for the next month because I would like to talk with them about the design itself, changes from the previous version to the new version.
So let me ask you this. For Taste of Soul, does that mean we just make more copies of the, for lack of a better word, jury-rigged version that has the new logo but the old info, the amended old info? Because it's October 15th.
I don't have a proper answer for you.
Okay.
I need to do that, but I would like to have a conversation with communications because
I know.
You know, so okay, so we have
well, we also don't have budget for it, so you probably need to ask Paul. I mean, we probably need to, we didn't put on your budget, we did not officially approve, you know, random printing of flyers. So we probably need to do the usual. I mean, it's in there in the overall budget, but it's not approved. So we could vote, but that means we probably have to tell Paula it needs to be an item on executive next week, and then governing board October, whatever that is, 6, 7, whatever that first Thursday is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, very administrative, but we, you know, this event is the 15th of October, so.
Okay, so flyers that we can distribute, that would be one. The next one is I will have an updated copy of the CD10 list of phone numbers, which will include the new person, Eric, right? Eric. Okay, so CD10 flyer. And then I'm going to reach out again to Renee because she told me that over the summer they would be updating their flyers, sanitation. Good. So sanitation. And then I really would like you to reach out to Taylor for LADOT.
Okay.
Flyers. That was one.
And we should try and get from the Office of Historic Resources more HPOZ things.
HPOZ.
I mean, I did print something. I mean, in other words, if you recall, but I put the Waha label on it. West Adams Heritage is not going to go to Taste of Soul. So I can just make more of those flyers if you don't care that it has a Waha label on it. Because I put something together from the Office of Historic Resources website. But they may have those brochures again because they come in multiple languages. So I can at least do a request to see if they exist.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But that would be better. I mean, the brochures are better than a one-page flyer, you know, because they come in Spanish, Korean, and Chinese.
Yes. Okay, so that would be great
if they have them. If they have them.
And I also, maybe Taylor, or I can just reach out to Rachel. She did tell me that I think in December, they're going to have another South LA Ciclavia. So, but it will be a little further south. So I think
Oh.
she said Exposition Park. It will connect Exposition Park with Watts. Sounds like a
Yeah.
long route.
Yeah.
So that's the latest that I heard from.
I really
Rachel.
wish they would do an Adams Boulevard.
Well, it will take some, planning.
Well, she explained why they're having trouble with that one. It's because of the crossing the streets that cross the
Exactly.
freeways.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a legitimate concern, but I'd be happy to, continue
Right.
that conversation. Sure. All right. So then, anything else that I think we could distribute or ask an agency? Emergency.
Well, again, what the environmental committee has really wanted to have distributed, but with a chair who's in Kansas till December, so she can't. Well, for lots of reasons that are good, that nobody objects to, but she's missing Thanksgiving here, for example, even though her boys are still here in the house. But we don't have people to populate, but we definitely would like to get the message out about, use less plastic. Your food waste should not be wasted. It should become compost. The drought's real, and here's how to say, here's a sheet on saving water. So these are all things we want somehow to get word out on. And it'd be good to get it out on the UNNC with a logo plastered onto it, if you know what I mean.
But it doesn't even need to have the UNNC logo. It can just be straight from that agency. We are just forward.
Well, yes, it could, but I'd love everything to have a little sticker logo on if it could, so people remember how they got it. That's all. Okay, but anyway, so the environmental committee has a number of those sort of messages that they would like to promote more widely, and people are beginning to get the message. I mean, if you I went to Carl's Jr. today, and there's a little sign saying, "We can't give you plastic unless you ask for it." And
right, but can't you reach out to the agency and get proper flyers? So
yes. They all have them. Yeah, they all have them, but what they have more of, Lizzie, is shareable social media. So that doesn't help us very much unless we create a flyer out of the imaging. So then we print. So I have some degree of willingness to print some things personally, but not hundreds and hundreds of dollars of things.
But if they can provide us with the flyers,
right? I understood.
Because I think they need to understand that not everything can be just shared on social media.
Right.
So when we have these in-person events, people are expected to receive some type of.
Okay. Well, we will work on that, because I will tell you that's the fondest desire that Elizabeth has, is to get more people behaving sustainably.
Mm-hmm. No, I couldn't agree more. Yes. All right. So I think that would be a good set of information to share with the stakeholders. Anything else, we'll just I'll probably announce it at the next governing board meeting, to ask for other committees if they have any flyers. Okay. Moving on. Follow up. Oh, UNNC elections.
Right.
I have no updates.
Well, do you remember our timelines last year? I mean, last time it was January that we needed to have all of the themes and the artwork. We kind of barely made that deadline, right? To put it out to get people to sign up to be a candidate by some date in February, right? And that was for a June 15. So if that's the case, we have to have our artwork and theme by early November, and a call for candidates at some point in November, late November or December is probably what we're going to be told. So, yeah, because our election is April 23rd. And
So
the other part of the timeline that we need to decide, based on the difficulty we've had planning a different event, is if we're going to have an event in conjunction with the election for Earth Day on the same day as our election and in the same or / adjacent location. We need to know that sooner rather than later.
Mhm.
And plan it far more in advance than our normal habit for UNNC's normal habit. So, the idea being it happens to be coincidentally Earth Day. And will the environmental committee be engaged with this? I mean, we just need to know if we're going to do that.
They need to be engaged.
Yeah, and of course they need to be engaged. I mean,
Yes.
well, I understand that, but I mean, but they only need to be engaged if we're doing it.
Right, but I know you have
Of course they have to be
been
engaged.
mentioning it, but this person is gonna be focused on the elections. So anything else is extra, and I
Well-
am really grateful that we can have that to.
Yeah, but
engage
but as you
the-
say that, this person named Lizzie, who's the elections chair, based on all the paperwork that we're looking at, will be the named person who's the event chair. That's the thing, because it'd be an election event. So the legworkers would be other people, but we need to know if we're really going to do it. So that's the key. And meaning, when do you find out which location's been approved?
Right.
Because I can jump in and do a lot of planning, but it's really is so dependent on where we're having the election.
Yes.
So if, for
But I
example,
think either way, we could have the adjacent street, either at the housing building or the library.
yeah, but the library would be a much easier adjacent street, frankly.
Yes, much.
I mean,
much-
my preferred location is the library, because we
yes.
could so easily close 12th Avenue. There's very few houses on it, on the street. The Truffle Brothers.
That's it with the Pocket Park event.
There's a pocket park on one side, Truffle Brothers, and their large parking lot on the other side. They now own the house behind them. So there's not a lot of different owners to deal with on the block.
Okay.
We could probably even do a half block close down on a whole block. Anyway, it's a much better location, but when is the clerk going to tell us?
Okay, so maybe
Yeah.
reach out to our EA,
Right.
to NEA, I mean, Gibson, and ask.
Well, isn't it the city clerk who
and
makes
ask
that
who the
decision?
city clerk contact is. And hopefully they will have a solid answer for us.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I think that's it, right? For elections, UNNC
At
elections.
this time.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I guess I do have one other thing. I keep seeing on the website for Dunn that they now have our updated demographics, but then when I click on it, it goes nowhere. So, I would really love for us to figure out what our demographics are, so that whatever campaign we're doing is properly focused.
Okay.
But I'm hitting a brick wall at Dunn. So that would be another thing to ask Gibson.
Okay, sure.
I don't usually hit these kind of brick walls.
Yes. All right. But that's good information to have. So any follow-ups to I don't have anything.
No.
No. Okay. So approval of the minutes. So I have minutes for let me stop the share.
Oh, so we're doing some of the minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
May 10th, the first one. This one. So, okay, I can scroll down. This is, and I forgot to write the attendee.
Oh.
It was only yes, it was only you and me.
So that's interesting because we're looking at such old minutes.
Yes,
But apropos to our first agenda item here today, will Fire Service Day be held this coming May at our own Station 34? And is that another event that we'll be participating in? Just as an aside. Given that we're
sorry.
looking, okay, so we're looking at May minutes, right?
Yes,
Every May has Fire Service Day in the middle of the
Yeah.
month. So we're looking at last May's minutes.
yes.
But apropos to our first order of business on this agenda, committee goals, and sort of identifying some of the events that we usually participate in. My question would be, in May 2023, will Station 34 be back participating in Fire Service Day, and are we participating then too? No, I know you don't know the answer. I'm just saying, side note.
Right. Okay, so that would be something else to add to the meeting,
Yeah,
to the goals.
Exactly.
So schedule of events.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a sec. Where did okay, here. Schedule. Events. Okay, so item 5 was very extensive, but it just came down to this. We edited it. And this came up again.
Yeah.
And this came up again.
Yeah.
And this, I will have to ask Dolores if she would like to keep the bags or maybe she would like to return them to me. And then the minutes that were approved. And that should be it.
All right, I move to approve the minutes.
Okay. And I second. And so minutes are approved. Thank you very much. And I will call the meeting to be adjourned at 7:54. That was good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Tom, and I'm meeting you later this week.
Oh, I had no idea. So.
Yeah, I know. I thought I recognized the name, and the minute to tell you, I was like, oh, I gotta leave. Okay. And I did leave.
All right. Thank you for coming, Tom. You're more than welcome to come again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Appreciate
Talk
it.
to you later. Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you
Good
very
night.
much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.